it's just in your pocket. So you can watch something in your pocket. It's with you all the time.
Do it all the time.
Welcome back to The Jump alongside Ramona Shelburne, Janae Gumake. I'm Rachel Nichols. It's time for a segment we like to call Something, Nothing, or Everything. Doesn't our fancy new graphics package make something, nothing, or everything look good? First, despite a near triple-double from Kawhi Leonard, the Phoenix Suns became the first team to beat the NBA Finals favorite, Clips. The Suns put up 130 on that defense, despite no DeAndre Ayton, no Ricky Rubio. Producer Schwartz, our researcher producer Michael Schwartz is like still hyperventilating. He's so happy. So are the Suns beating the Clippers, Janae? Something, nothing, or everything?
It's something. Anytime the Phoenix Suns get a quality win, it's absolutely something. And I actually really like this squad, like as a sneaky pick. I mean, not to come into playoffs, no offense, but just as a sneaky someone that can upset your team, just because I like Kelly Oubre. He fits here. He's giving you like 20 points per game. Devin Booker, he only hit 6 threes. When he gives you 30, how many do you expect? Maybe 10 of them to be threes?
Right.
So yeah, I like this team as like a, sneaky type of team to compete.
I think it's something as well. Monty Williams has done a pretty good job getting his system installed there. And also, I thought it was a statement win for them after the DeAndre Ayton suspension.
Yep.
Like, that was how, okay, Ayton gets suspended 25 games. That's a huge setback. And then, boom, next game out, you go and beat the Clippers, who a lot of us were starting to feel were the best team in the league.
Yeah, I mean, there was a question of how many wins are the Clippers going to run off to start the season?
Yep.
We've seen records like that, right? And they still could go on a run, but obviously that was impressive. I do wonder the reaction to Ayton. We see sometimes, like out of the gate, a team that suffered a loss, a major injury, a guy suspended.
They rally.
Like,
Viewing effect.
we are playing with that energy. Monty Williams, as you said, such a good coach. I am curious. 25 games is a long time, so I am curious to see how it lasts. But hey, Phoenix fans, they've been starving for a long time. Any good win
There's hope.
is a good win. Next, let's talk about John Wall's shoe deal because it could be nearing an end. Industry sources telling ESPN the injured Wizards star and Adidas are negotiating a buyout less than 2 years into his 5-year, $25 million deal. So here he is today. He's working out in Kobe 4s. That's a Nike shoe. Wall hasn't played since December 26th. Ramona, is this something, nothing, or everything?
I'm going to say this is kind of everything. I mean, what's the line, three-stripe life? I mean, but like not for life, I guess? Is that, I don't know. I'm just looking. I don't want to look over there. Are you wearing?
You see what happened was. No heels today.
Isn't that what's supposed to happen? You sign a contract, and if it's for better or worse?
I don't know whose side this is on. What's your take?
I say this is nothing on the other end of the spectrum, just because, I can speak from my personal experience as an athlete at Adidas. They've been great with me, but I do understand John Wall's predicament, considering that he's injured and I've dealt with injuries, and it's really hard to convey your value and worth and be able to do things for a brand when you're in that position. So it's tough. Hopefully it's mutual.
I was surprised to see this news just because Adidas has a history with sticking guys even if they get hurt. Derrick Rose's contract with Adidas currently runs through 2025. Obviously, he had years where he was struggling with injuries. He had years where he seemed to be struggling with whether he wanted to stay with the teams he was on, things like that. And that partnership stayed strong. And he just had this very triumphant Adidas tour in China, right, that we saw during the offseason. So I'm curious on whose side this breakup started to happen. We'll have to see if it happens. But, Janae, you know that if you're wearing the shoes you're not supposed to be wearing from the other brand, you're not supposed to be. That's a big
no-no.
deal.
Probably over already.
It's a big deal. Next, let's talk about James Harden. This is a sentence I don't expect to say for long. But for right now, after the first few games, he is ice cold from three-point range. In those 2 games, he's made 3 of 26 from behind the arc, including 2 of 18 in the game against New Orleans, although the Rockets did win that game. This is his worst stretch of shooting since, let's see, he shot 3 for 31 in a 3-game run last February. Janae, are Harden struggles something, nothing, or everything?
They're everything.
Really?
They're everything, but obviously with a positive spin, because if this is a team that could sustain James Harden not shooting the ball well, this is the best team that can contend for a championship, in my opinion. Again, Russell Westbrook, I think that's the number one question they ask. Will he be able to space the floor for James Harden to work? And both of them sort of have struggled from 3. So for them to still find a way to get a win, if you heard them after the game, they're like, it was ugly, but it was worth it. James is not the guy that really gives you much in media. And the fact that he's like, oh, my beard, making jokes, like the bromance is real. So yeah, this is everything, because if they can sustain an off James Harden night, maybe that means they can sustain enough to win in the playoffs.
I just can't get over that stat line from the other.
Right?
He took 18 threes.
Well,
Super
that
18.
you have to. That part should not surprise
Yeah,
you.
that's
18.
Okay, seriously, the
That's
two
like
part,
a whole team right
Yeah,
there.
that is a whole
18 part should not surprise you after James Harden's last few seasons.
That's normal.
Do I need to show you some usage stats?
We've made our peace with that in Houston.
The thing about the Rockets that I've been impressed, I've been drawn more to Mike D'Antoni's quote from earlier in the week where he said, we're the 6 seconds or less Rockets.
Yes.
And I think that is what you do to mitigate anything with threes, because he's never worried about how many threes they make or what percentage they make. It's about how many you take, because as long as they shoot 30%, as long as they take a certain number, and Mike always has a certain number in his head of like, as long as we take that many threes, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
Because 3 is greater than 2, and we all know that whole Rockets math.
Yes.
But for them to be the 6 seconds or less Rockets.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, Jack McCallum can come and write another book,
exactly.
right? But that is a whole new dimension to their offense, because as we know, last year they were one of the slowest paced teams in the league.
That's what happens when you add Russell Westbrook, man. Head of fire coming to the net. One player who is shooting better than Harden right now, is Markelle Fultz, though I want to give him his props because the #1 former overall pick made not one, but 2 3-pointers on Saturday against Atlanta, the 5th and 6th 3-pointers of his career. So Ramona, is Markelle's first multi-3-point made basket game something, nothing, or everything?
Okay, I can do wordplay too.
Okay.
I think everything is something with Markelle Fultz.
There you go.
All right. You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, when you watch the highlight of it, I mean, he's still a little tentative with that stroke there. It's not exactly a quick release, but he's taking them and he's making them.
I was gonna say.
That is something when it comes to Markelle Fultz and his history of not taking or making much of anything.
Here's what they count. They count it when it goes in the hoop.
Amen.
They don't count it how fast you get it off. As long as you are getting it over the defender, that's all that matters.
And can we see those game shots again? Because, guys, the NBA is an extremely disrespectful place.
Yes.
Yeah.
No one was near him.
Correct.
No one was near him. And the fact that, hey, he caught the ball, check it out, no one near him.
Oh, my gosh.
Shot it in rhythm, no hitch, nothing. Everything, in my opinion. Again, another look.
I don't know if I would say no hitch.
No, it was
slow.
let's talk about where, started from the bottom, now we're here.
Right.
Okay?
Okay,
So, like,
okay.
this is everything because he's playing with confidence. I've loved the dunk he had in game 1. Like, this is the new version of Markelle Fultz we've been waiting for.
Look, people who watch the show a lot know that when it comes to situations like this, like Dwight Howard, like Markelle Fultz, the thing I sort of say at the end of every highlight or low light that we show is, hey, people in the NBA want this person to succeed because it's a good story when someone struggles and then is able to come back and lift themselves up from it. It's a reason why we like sports. It's the reason we like our kids to like sports, right? To show them that example. I am really happy for Markelle Fultz, and I hope this continues. I don't need him to be perfect. I'm glad people are giving him room right now because it means that he can get some confidence under him. The NBA is a better place if more players are playing better, and that's just more fun for all of us. So I'm thrilled that he's doing well right now. We'll see if it continues. Coming up, let's talk about Kyrie because he needs no confidence boost at all. He's already had a 50-point game. He had a 37-point night, and that's just week 1 of his Nets career. We'll talk about how long he can keep the pace. Hey, look, here's what the Jump recommends. I know who wrote this. It's ESPN.com's star Ramona Shelburne about how the newness in Golden State from the arena to the roster may start a long process of recreation for the Warriors. Boom, boom, boom.